Hello. I have a double list review, and this list is from Mason, who is a newer-ish player, um, who is not competitive yet, but who wants my opinion on a few lists that he's made, two different lists, and maybe figure out what's good and what's not. Maybe Mason is trying to figure out which list to bring to something. Mason, welcome to Bolt Action. Bolt Action is amazing. It's awesome, and you'll enjoy it. Go to an event. Play some competitive games as well. I know it's always fun to play the scenario games, but sometimes just to build your understanding of the game, it's good to play some just tournament games, um, and don't take it too seriously. It's just a game, right? Let's go and see what he's building. Here we have it. This is the first list. It's an Iwo Jima Pacific list, 1942 to 45, and it's a 16 order dice list, 999 points. I like the 16 order dice. It's a bit high, which means that you're saving points somewhere. We have an inexperienced officer with the 35-point tax that you pay for that officer. That's perfectly fine. We have a large veteran US Marine squad. Now, this one, I have to say, I don't agree with this one. Um, Americans have very little business in close combat, and this unit is geared towards close combat. It has 3 submachine guns, 3 riflemen with pistols, and 2 infantry with shotguns. So all of the men in the unit have um, the assault special rule and the stubborn special rule. However, you lose 1 round and the unit is gone. You don't have fanatics. You don't have any of the special rules that benefit in close combat. This is a this is not a good idea in my opinion. For competitive games. Um, Americans are way better skirmishers than are actually close combat fighters. So what you can do, and which I would suggest is a good idea, is you can buy some of the submachine guns, maybe even the pistols, but don't use it to charge stuff. Use the pistols and the submachine guns, the assault special rules, to keep the enemy at bay from charging you, and then just shoot the enemy. Skirmish the enemy down. Kill them in skirmish. Don't actually use these troops to assault. The shotgun and all this extra equipment, it confuses matters for that purpose. You don't need it. Just buy rifles. Rifles are perfectly fine. You don't pay extra points for them. You can have a few pistols if you want to. Um, and and then maybe let go of the submachine guns because the submachine guns are not needed. Just having a few guys with pistols is enough to have the assault special rule, and then you shoot with the rifles. That is all you need to do. The veterans, it does help in close combat, but they become so expensive that they're actually in the price range of a unit of Gurkhas, which are way better in close combat. So I'm not a fan of this. Um, I am, however, a huge fan of your US Marine skirmish units here. 7-man units, regulars with 3 BARs. God damn it, that's a good skirmish unit. And you have 1, 2, 3 of those. 3 skirmish Marine squads. These are really good. Very strong choices. Lovely. Good price range as well. A 7-man unit. You can go down to 6 if you want to, and you can even do without maybe one of the BARs. But I really like this configuration. It's very strong choice, and you have a lot of range here, right? 30-inch range is good. There's a lot of shots coming out of these units. Very strong choice, and the BAR benefits from the American special rule of move and fire. Lovely. The engineers as well like this configuration. They are regulars, they have 1 flamethrower, 5-man unit. Perfect. Throw them in a transport of some sort, Dodge, and they are good to go. Then we have double medium machine guns, inexperienced. Now, these are not worth it, even at inexperienced 35 points. But if you're going to an event that uses the Jugger pack, where or some version of it where medium machine guns are fixed, you have some events where when you fire a medium machine gun, you immediately give a pin to the unit, even if you don't hit. If that's the sort of event, then this is the way to go, because you're paying the least amount of points for an assured pin, and that is a good idea. So in that respect, I can see these being really effective. 2 of those. I think you can even take a third if you have the points, and you may have the points once you cut down on that veteran US Marine squad. Medium mortar, regular with a spotter, lovely. A bazooka, lovely, lovely anti-tank. That is going to do well. A sniper team, veteran, to win the sniper duel, yes. A war dog. I am not personally a fan of the war dog, but I know American players who are. It's 18 points. It's a very cheap order dice. I just think a single man is not that valuable. However, he is an infantry unit and can take objectives, so. The Jeep, no transport, pindle-mounted MMG. The flak version without the recce. This is pretty good. Just stick it in your back line and just pour out shots. It's fine. An LVT alligator. This is not worth the points. I have to say this, Mason. It's not worth the points. 150 is too expensive for a 7+ vehicle. But I love myself some LVTs. I love my LVT. Oh, I love it. But I never run it as an alligator. Although I could, I have the bits to like assemble it into an alligator. I always run it as the transport LVT when I do run it. And I'm going to run it at a Danish tournament like in a few weekends. So I am going to run it. But it's not very good, and it's too expensive. But it does have a lot of machine guns, 360 pindle-mounted machine guns. The only thing is that you're going to have to be open-topped to use those pindle-mounted machine guns, right? It has a coaxial HMG, which I'm not a fan of this configuration. I would want an MMG. Simply because why are you using an HMG with a +1 when you have a +4 light anti-tank gun? That +1 is not that much better. So I would want the MMG if I could. And then 2 Dutch trucks. I don't think you need to. One of them could be to transport that assault unit, which has 8-man, yes. So one of them is to transport that assault unit. That will bring them up to a good range. I just don't think the assault unit is good enough to be a real assault unit. And the other unit, the other Dodge, is clearly to transport the engineers, maybe with an inexperienced lieutenant in it, and then the Dodgers could maybe even try to outflank, even though they are inexperienced. Lovely list, Mason. Definitely has some good elements. I'm sorry, I'm just not that much of a fan of your assault unit, but I love myself the alligator. It's just so fun. It's so big and chunky. I love it. Then we have Darby's Rangers, the second unit, which is a 12 order dice, 998 points. 12 order dice is a bit low. I would want 1 extra order dice, so let's see if we can find ourselves an order dice. Darby's Rangers, though, have some very interesting special rules because they can play around with Night Fight and they can choose to be the attacker. And so there's a lot of interesting shenanigans you can do when you're playing with Theatre List, and Darby's Rangers is definitely one of them that can do some interesting stuff. Mason is bringing an inexperienced lieutenant. Then Rangers, 1, 2, 3 units of Rangers. The first one is all rifles. That's a skirmish unit. For me, it's too expensive. I would cut down on the amount of men in it. They have the Rangers Lead the Way, they have Light Recon, which is an extra spotting range. They have the Agnari Training, which means that they move faster, I think, and they have Tough Fighters. I think you could go down to 6-man in this unit, cut down on the costs, and spend the points on something better. You don't actually need 8-man in a unit that is just a skirmish unit. So you can go down to 6 or 7 and still get something valuable out of that. Maybe an extra bar. Then we have this unit here, which I am not a fan of. Again, it's a skirmish unit. It's again a big skirmish unit. It has a BAR and it has a light machine gun. I do not think you should put that light machine gun in there. No matter what pack you're going into, I don't think the light machine gun is worth it unless you get it for free. But the BAR it does the same. It gives you the range, gives out a few pins, maybe a casualty here and there. I would stick with the BAR and just cut out the light machine gun. It's too expensive and it makes the unit way too expensive. Again, you could cut this down to a 6-7-man unit, and that would be perfectly fine for a skirmish unit. Rangers Lead the Way. Here, you have these. So the HQ, the Light Mortar Bazooka team all get the Ranger special rule. The Sniper team are Rangers as well. Okay. I'm not sure that they need this, but if you have to do it, you have to do it. The engineers, though, they don't become Rangers, which actually would have been rather beneficial to them. But engineers, they are what they are. We have a 5-man unit, a flamethrower, and 2 submachine guns. They're very good. Especially if they have some sort of transport, they're very, very good. And the final Ranger unit is again with the light machine gun. I would not do this. It's a smaller unit, so it's more of a backline holder unit, but I think you could distribute some of the points down, make this the same size so it can dual roll. A 6-man unit with a BAR is perfectly fine. They're veteran, they're not going to die anyway, they're going to deliver the pins, they're going to deliver the skirmish that you want. So yeah. The light mortar is even also a ranger, inexperienced ranger here. Okay. That's very cheap, it's a good order dice to get. The veteran sniper, if you could take this regular, I would save the points, buy something else as well, because we're looking for that extra 1 order dice, right? And then we have a bazooka team, regular. Does that become ranger? Yes, it does. That means that the bazooka is Rangers Lead the Way, which means it has that free move, which means your bazooka is in the mid-table. Oh, that is amazing. That's cool, because you can hit that annoying Daka Steward or Sherman that sits in the corner. You can hit it turn 1 with the bazooka. Really cool little special rule there. We have a Recce Jeep. I like this. For me, this is better than the Recce Jeep of the US Marine Corps list. A Sherman 75mm medium tank. This is too expensive for what it does. If you could, I would go and find the howitzer Sherman. I'm not sure you can take it though in this theater list. I don't think you can, but the howitzer Sherman is a little bit better and it's cheaper. My main argument against this is that it's too expensive, right? But it does have 3 MMGs, which is always good, although you're going to have to pop the top open. And 2 Dodge trucks to throw stuff at the enemy. I think you only need 1 Dodge truck here for the engineers. The second is not really needed. The bazooka is now in the mid-table, turn 1. I don't think you need it. So I would rather maybe buy some more infantry or something that actually is useful. With the points left over, cut out the second dodge here as well, and buy something that can kill stuff. Yeah, that was my comments for your lists, Mason. Thank you so much for sending them, and good luck, and welcome to Bold Action. Cheers.